hey guys, wizards and their douchebaggy partners leaked some more cards or spoiled them, or what the hell's the difference at this point? I don't know if they were in the original document. I forgot, but I picked out ones that I thought weren't, and here they are. Blue edition, by the way, and this isn't just, oh, to the best of my memory, here's cards you haven't seen yet. This is just hand-picked, holy crap, take a look at this card and remember it, because you might want to put it in your deck. This is power, or just like really unique. First up, Syncopate. Oh my gosh, I mean, I love this spell. It's honestly kind of terrible. I mean, at low amounts of mana, it's amazing, and at high amounts of mana, it's a giant waste of mana. I mostly like this card because of the original artwork, but this one's pretty cool too. It's just like, I don't care. I'm not even going to look in your direction. I'm just going to counter your spell. Piss off with that. But the other one's just like some lady wagging her finger like, You can't do any better than that. I ended up putting it in my deck mostly because of the artwork, because that's how you build a good deck, but it is good because it says counter target spell unless its controller pays X. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in the owner's graveyard. So that whole exiling thing is actually pretty big because there's a lot of graveyard crap going on. So get this, okay, you can counter anything, creature, non-creature, planeswalker, doesn't matter, any spell for 2 mana. That's right, this is literally counterspell as long as your opponent doesn't have any mana left. Now, if they have less than 2 mana left, then this is just a cancel, which, okay, cancel is cancel, except it's not because it exiles it. So I was gonna say that's dissolve, but that's not it. I don't remember which one that's equivalent to, the one that exiles stuff. So it's like, okay, a 3-cost blue counter spell, that's nothing new. Okay. Soon as you get to 4, Insidious Will is an infinitely better card. I mean, like, words cannot describe how much better Insidious Will is than this card, but Insidious Will does not have the option of costing 2. This does. And remember, people lost their damn minds over Mental Misstep. People think Spell Pierce is one of the best cards ever printed. They're wrong on both accounts, but you still can't deny them. And people would always max out X spells, and then people would be like, 2 mana, Syncopate. Oh, shouldn't have maxed it out. Should have left 1 mana available. Whoopsies. Plus, if you can stack these somehow, it's even funnier because you can make them, they'll be like, okay, I'll pay it. Okay, fine, I'll pay the rest of the mana. And then you like counter the spell anyway. Like you make it cost 1 more on top of that. Oh my God, was that trolly. I loved it. I would do crap like that all the time. I just absolutely love this card. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to talk about Syncopate the entire video if we don't move on to Sage of Latinum. Guys, I think that's right next to Vietnam. Anyway, sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. I just like it because you can do it with treasures. I mean, that's literally the only reason that this is remotely good. Otherwise, did you need that? Why is it on the field if you didn't need it? I mean, you can answer that on both accounts with treasure. It's just like, oh, I generated treasure. It's there. Maybe I need mana. Well, maybe you need cards. This gives you the option. The only problem is you'd have to like somehow untap him to use it again. But you know, a card per turn for free-ish, it's not bad. Unfortunately, this would be a component of Mechanized Production Revel in Riches, where you try to get out, 8 to 10 clues and win. This would let you do it. Like, you have 13 treasures on the field, and you're like, I just need Mechanized Production. You could go get it by sacrificing 1 treasure, tapping this, and boom, you draw a card. So, I kind of don't like that, but in general, this is pretty good. Next up, Disney villain Naban, Dean of Iteration. He's probably not actually a villain in the storyline. It's actually kind of implied that he's one of the teachers at a Tolarian Academy, what do they call it? Satellite location. I believe that's what they were basically calling it in the storyline. I think Tolarian Academy like got blown up probably more than once, honestly, but they said something about, oh, they had like little side schools that they set up, I guess. I don't know. This guy teaches at one, I guess. I'm like literally making up an entire backstory. By the way, the flavor text is perfect. Now do it again. That's pretty funny, actually. So he's a 2/1 legendary wizard, so you got a whole lot of synergy going on there, and it's only for 2, not even double blue. I mean, that's just pretty damn good by itself. And then, well, honestly, 2 attack for a blue creature that costs 2 is pretty good, too. That's not a given with blue. I mean, blue is weak on attack, remember. But get this. If a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. This is Panharmonicon for wizards, but at a lot less mana. And he's a 2/1 for 2, and he's a wizard, and he's legendary. I mean, this just looks good, potentially. There has to be a deck to support it, but the potential is there. But yeah, doubling ETB effects, damn. And remember, there's the whole historic. Well, if it's a legendary wizard, automatic historic. I think that's where this is going to get nuts. Next up, Precognition Field. Now, this is really good, you know, as opposed to the rest of this video. Not only is that artwork totally awesome, but it's an enchantment that costs 4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You can draw a card and then look at the next card because now that's on the top of your library. You can do it during your opponent's turn. You can, I guess, probably do it during phases that don't even have, like, what do they call it, like reactions or whatever, or there's some term for it. But seriously, just don't forget to do it. And then also, you may cast the top card of your library if it is an instant or sorcery card. Holy crap! And then if that wasn't good enough, pay 3, exile the top card of your library. So if you're like, I really don't need more land, boom, get rid of it. And then immediately look at the next card. I mean, if you just need to get to the one card you need, even if it is a qualifying card, get rid of it. You could even just hit an opt and then cast the opt and then go for what's under it. And the options are nuts, and there's a card almost identical to this. I think it's still legal. Oh yeah, duh, Vizier of the Menagerie. I play this card all the time. I mean, it's still not that expensive of a card. It never really caught on, but holy crap is this powerful. By the way, just take my word for it, not going to explain in this video, but that card is going to go up when Dominaria drops. Anyway, that one says, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast the top card if it's a creature, and then your colors don't mean anything, basically. You can spend any color on anything. Oh, well, as long as it's a creature spell. If you had both of these in play in some kind of way to generate a ton of mana, you could just about cast your whole damn deck. But I will say you're going to hit a land at some point, but for 3 mana, you could get rid of the land and get it out of the way. So you could do some crazy stuff. But then again, if you had like 15 mana, just cast Torment of Hailfire and win the game. So I mean, it's not like God's gift to a deck, but I mean, if you really need to get off some spells, especially counter spells with Precognition Field, oh my gosh, I mean, you could have an empty hand and just be like, haha, by the way, counterspell. And because of the way it's phrased, you would be able to feed in values into X if it was Syncopate. So in the right type of deck, this would be crazy. I don't think this is like a $10 rare or anything. It could be if it catches on, but it's just good. I mean, just you should be aware of it. Next up, Naru, who I'm obviously going to call Naruto. Oh, and Meha, I guess is her last name. Boy, they got some weird names on this plane. Master Wizard, and of course she's a mythic. Double blue 4 cost, and 3/3 with flash. The problem is she costs 4, but okay, so when she enters the battlefield, copy target instant or sorcery spell that you control. That kind of sucks. If it was one your opponent controlled too, that would be pretty funny. But yeah, you may choose new targets for the copy. So just straight up copy it. When you copy a spell, you preserve its X value too, by the way. The problem is, like, how much mana do you really have? I mean, it probably would have to be a 1 or 2 cost spell, maybe 3, because then even with 3, you'd need 7 mana. And there's cost reduction for instants and sorceries. Probably. There's cost reduction for wizards, if I remember correctly. So, okay, you could really do stuff with this, but just as it sits, it's like, what's really worth copying? I mean, you basically can't copy a 5-cost spell unless you have 9 mana. So, and if you have 9 mana, just cast Torment of Hailfire and win the damn game. But hey, I mean, being able to copy something like Opt, it's not terrible. So it's very limited in what it can do. It's very situational and time sensitive, but it is a spell copier for 4. So it's not bad. I don't think this is going to be one of the money mythics, though. Oh, by the way, other wizards you control get +1/+1. So, I mean, even if it's like, oh, I don't have anything to clone. Oh, no, what do I do? Drop her anyway. I mean, she's a field bonus. So that's it for the craziest cards in blue that we've seen so far. I'm sure some more are coming. I don't think all the cards have been spoiled yet. Honestly, I don't even remember when the damn release date is, and at this point, I don't care, because I hate Wizards of the Coast. I hate everything about their company. I hate most of the people who work there, at least the ones that are vocal on social media, and I know this set's gonna sell like garbage. I'm glad I ordered next to nothing of it, and I can't wait to see it crash and burn, because at least then if you guys refuse to buy anything sealed at all, you could just buy singles and get them for probably half the price as if this set was actually good. Well, actually, the set could be as good as it wants. As I explained in the last video, that ain't gonna do a damn thing about the fact that some sellers out there, like Sports and More, specifically and exclusively, are selling it for, 7 something per box, and Nobody can compete with that, and that's not sustainable. Simple as that. So, you know, when I say, oh, this card would be $10, I mean normally. At 70 something a box, I mean, okay, that might be hard to clear, but I don't know. If it follows along with some past sets, even then some of these cards are going to spike up pretty high because they're just good. And they're good, like the white cards, they were good in multiple formats. So I think some of these are pretty wide open. I mean, some of them are like real specific. It's like Wizard, Legendary, okay. But I could see some of these going up in other formats. Maybe not Modern, but, you know, just a little bit of added popularity, which always adds to the value. So keep your eye on these, and I will see you guys next video.